OG, welcome back. I am Chanel XO, and we talk about beauty, fashion, style, and everything worthwhile, child. So, I was going back and forth in my head on if I wanted to create this video, right? And again, I heard the Lord say, do it, because you owe me. And I was like, okay. Because I told God, if he get me through this, I'll make a video telling the world how great of a God you are. Which, I mean, I don't even have to do that, because for those who know, you know how God be putting it down, okay? So, I'm the type, well, I'm not gonna say I'm the type, I'm getting over of being the type that cares about what people say. And this may sound, you know, kind of like, excuse me, what's the word I'm looking for? Contradictive. Like, I don't care what nobody say, but I care what somebody say, if that makes sense. So, like, say for instance, if I got on a nice outfit and I feel like it's, you know, it's bad to the bone, I don't care what you got to say about it, because I like it. You know what I'm saying? But then if I'm going through a hardship, you see, you follow along now. If I'm going through a hardship, like how people be asking for, how people ask for donations and what do you call it, GoFundMe's and things like that. That's the type of stuff that I be worried about, you know, if people, you know, whatever they gonna say and things like that. Not because I'm trying to uphold some type of image, but it's more so of, you in my business, don't do that. But it's in the sense of, I'm putting my business out there because I am on a social platform, but at the same time, don't judge me. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what somebody else is going through, and it could always be worse, right? So, anyway, I'm going to tell y'all, as y'all can see by the title, God paid my rent. Okay, so, this was back in October of 2025. I had got behind on rent. And, you know, if y'all been following along, you know, I've been sick or whatever. Y'all, the smallest thing would take my breath away. And, you know, I would swell up and things like that. And it's only so much I can do. So everything, literally everything, fell on my husband. So, you know, he's taking care of the bills. He's taking care of rent. You know, here and there I would, you know, come in with the bills and things like that. But like I said, everything fell on him. And so it had got to a point where it was like he exhausted everything, right? So I was like, okay, you know, we would pray with each other and say it's going to be fine. You know, we're going to get through this. Everything's going to be fine. You know, God got us. And so I know when God is trying to get my attention, right? So I get on YouTube and the first few videos come up about fasting. I said, all right, God, I hear you. So I said, well, let me fast, okay? I fasted for 3 days. And this was a fast where I ate, but I didn't eat. But with my health condition, I can't just, you know, go 3 or 21 days without eating meat or just drinking water and things like that. So what I did was fruits and nuts and water. That's what I did. So yeah, so as I was doing it, it was the 3rd day. I randomly got a call from my mama. And my mama was like, how much your rent is? I'm looking like, okay. And you know, so I told her. And so she was like, come pick the check up at 12. Who, me? I looked up at God and I said, quit playing. Quit playing. Stop playing with me. And God just like, you better go get it. So, you know, I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful for that, because a lot of people go against fasting, or a lot of people don't believe it like that. But y'all, fasting is real. Okay, so fast forward. Alright, so we get caught up a little. And we go into December, right? Whew. Rent is late again. Again, everything has fallen on my husband. And so the last 3 days, I know me and my best friend was talking, and it was like, it's just this spiritual warfare just going on. It's just stuff happening left and right. I said, best friend, we need to fast. I don't know from what, I don't know. I don't care what we fasting from, but I know we need to fast, right? So she goes, oh, and not to mention, when I told her that, she's already on the phone venting to me. Like, she's pissed, venting to me. And I just go, we need to fast. So she's like, okay. So we end up fasting, right? And I want to say on the second day for both of us, crazy. On the second day for both of us, she tells me, oh my God, these people done paid, because she's a caterer. These people done paid for the whole thing. And normally she requires the full amount if it's 2 weeks or less, right? She was like, but they dropped the whole thing. And so I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. You know, that's good for you. I love that for you. Okay. So the day go on. So we just on the phone, chilling, talking, you know. And I said, hold on. It's a weird number calling me. And so I was like, I'm going to go ahead and click over. So I clicked over. And so she was like, hi, this is such and such. I had a missed call from you. I said, no, you didn't have a missed call from me. And so she was like, She said, are you looking for rental assistance? Again, I'm looking around like, and I said, yeah. And so, you know, she's talking and she's asking how much the rent is. And I told her how much the rent was. And, you know, told her about my hardship, you know, my sickness and things like that. And she said, come in tomorrow at 3:30 and pick your check up. But let me tell y'all, I applied for these people. I applied for these people back in, I want to say September or probably October. I know it was last year, 2025. And yeah, so I go up there and I'm just like, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you. And so I go up there and we just talking. And she said, I'm gonna pray for you, you know, when I go to church. I said, well, thank you. And so she gave me the check. It covered some. And I knew the enemy wanted me to get mad, right? Because it didn't cover all. But I said, I can't do that. Because this is better than zero, right? This is better than zero. But I know there's a chapter in the Bible. There's a verse in the Bible. I want to say Is it Matthew 25? I'll let y'all know. But I want to say it's Matthew. Pretty much it says, if you be faithful of few, I make you ruler of many. Just faithful over a few. Faithful over a few, y'all. Make you ruler of many. And I just want to say thank you, God. So for those who don't believe, I need y'all to believe. God is real. All you got to do is get in your word, journal, write it down. Whatever it is, write it down. Write the vision down, make it plain. I done told y'all this in many of my videos. Many of my videos. He gonna come through for you. He gonna come through, y'all. He is gonna come through. So, whatever you going through out there, fast. Give God 3 days. Give God 3 days. Just 3. I just knew in the very beginning, I just knew I couldn't do it. But I pushed myself. And I pushed myself, and I prayed, and I journaled, and I prayed, and I cried, and I journaled, and I fasted. And God was like, I see you. So because I see you, I'm going to reward you. You got to have faith. You got to keep the faith. You got to pray. You got to wait, and you got to trust. Y'all got this. Give God 3 days. So that is my testimony. I'm actually putting this video out. And I got 3 other videos that I got to edit. But I'm going to go ahead and drop this one before I even drop those. Because I promised God. I sure did. I owe him. So, I'm letting go of my pride. Because, I mean, it's life, right? We all go through things. Life hits us hard in many different ways. So, this is my story. It's my testimony, y'all. So, believe, pray, trust, and God gonna do his big one. I love y'all. Bye, y'all.